was just like not attracted at all, you know?
Like
it just
zero?
Yeah, I would say like zero.
Did you find him unattractive?
I didn't find him unattractive. There just wasn't anything there. It wasn't that spark. Cupid wasn't around. And so
no, he was missing.
It was like, I'm trying. I think that physical attraction is important, and it isn't. I mean,
it's really important and it's really not important.
I remember when you were walking down the aisle to Zach and you whispered over to me and you were like, I'm not attracted to him, but I'm going for it.
Here I go. Yeah, it's like twofold, like really important and really not important. We're going to get into that, but before we do, we want to say a huge thank you to all of you who are over on patreon.com because you guys support the videos that we make. Every video you say, hey, I'll give $1, I'll give $2 per video. It only comes out to like one latte a month, but you are the backbone of this channel, and our way of saying thank you to all of you Patreon, the Girl Defined Patreon family, which there are several hundred of you. We have so much fun over on our private Patreon page too, just fun giveaways and Q&As and behind the scenes videos we make just for our patrons, but also every month is our way of saying thank you for supporting our channel. We create free digital resources that you get first access to, and some of them they're all really good, but some of them are like really, really good. And they're digital downloads like this one, a simple, practical, and biblical guide, how to discern a guy's true character. Like, what? Crazy. Don't you want to know how to know his true character?
Well, and you get these for free. Anyone else who wants these has to pay for them.
Right. They go in our shop and you have to buy them. The Christian Girls Breakup Survival Guide, if you were a friend who's gone through something. Crazy. A devotional through the Psalms. 5 strategies to find freedom from sexual sin. Like, these are really good resources. Prayer journals, fighting fear and worry. So when you become a patron, when you head on over to girldefined.com, patreon.com/girldefined, you get access to every free downloadable resource that we have ever created, plus every new one moving forward. And you support this channel, which is the best part of all. So head on over to patreon.com/girldefined to join the Patreon family.
Just click the link below, y'all. Okay, so this was actually a question that I was asked on my personal Instagram like yesterday, and someone was asking how important is physical attraction in a relationship? And this actually hit really close to home for me because before I was with Dave, I was in a relationship where I was faced with this. And I'm going to tell you that story, but you had a story I want you to share first. Leave you on the edge of your seat.
And it was funny, before we even started this video, we were both kind of debating back and forth, like, wait, what about this? Or what about that? And so this is very candid. We're just going to see where this conversation goes as we kind of openly dialogue about this topic. But I knew a girl, and she was very beautiful, and this guy had expressed interest in her, and from the world standards, he wasn't that attractive. And everyone that was close to her, I remember she told me this years later, was telling her, like, hey, you're way too pretty for him. And this is a great Christian girl, and he was a great Christian guy, and she was like, oh, like, that doesn't seem like the best, but I'm not that attracted to him. And so she kind of dismissed it, like he had expressed interest, asked her out or whatever, and she was like, I'm not attracted. But she decided in her heart, just in the privacy of her own heart before the Lord, she would pray about this guy and just pray, like, Lord, do you even want me to consider him? And God did something in her heart, like gave her this piece about just stepping forward and seeing what God would have. And as she entered into a relationship with this guy that she initially wasn't attracted to, as time went on, she found herself attracted to him. And they ended up getting married and now have a beautiful family. And it's just a crazy story, because I think sometimes as women and in this society, especially what's coming out of Hollywood, attraction is everything. It's like that sexual attraction, chemistry, like first glance, Cupid, normally it's not because their heart and character. It's like Cupid strikes you, right? And then it's like all about the physical. But she was willing to take a chance. And I think that's kind of what you did as well. It doesn't mean it always ends in marriage, but
well, I think that's the hard part, because like with me, I was approached by a young man and he was super interested.
So formal.
And I was just like not attracted at all,
Like,
it just
zero?
Yeah, I would say like zero.
Did you find him unattractive?
I didn't find him unattractive. There just wasn't anything there. It wasn't that spark. Cupid wasn't around. And so
no, he was missing.
It was like, I'm trying. And so I remember though thinking about it, and we were just kind of chatting, and I decided that I was going to, kind of get to know him, because I really admired his heart and just his character and who, just the man that he was. And so I was like, even though I am not initially attracted right now, I've heard of stories like this, and I know that can grow. And I know so many of us we will not even be willing to get to know a guy because we're like, oh, I wasn't initially attracted, so I'm not going to get to know you. And we could be missing out on a great potential future spouse, you know, because like they have all these amazing qualities. So for me, I felt like it was really important to at least explore it and give attraction the chance to grow. And so I got to know him.
I like the way you put that.
Give attraction the chance to grow. I gave it the biggest chance possible, y'all. And I gave it everything I could. Yeah, I gave it everything I could. I sought counsel. I did everything. And at the end of the day, basically everyone, even some of his mentors were advising me, like, you know, if you are just, you have given it everything. And if there is just nothing in your heart that even is the tiniest of spark, like, you know, attraction isn't everything, but even like these godly people that were married and much older than me were all in agreement. Like, we just think it's probably not meant to be, you know, like it's just not maybe the best, because you do want to at least start with that attraction. You want to at least have it there. And so I
want to at least end with it, right? Yeah. Walking down the aisle, not going, oh, I can't believe I'm about to marry this person.
So I felt like, you know, it's not the most important thing, but I do think that God did make us like to feel attraction and have desire, and it can be cultivated. And obviously in marriage, you continue to fuel that and create that. But I just felt like, wow, this is going to be a rough start if I just like literally do not feel attracted to you. And I've tried, and I just, it was such a bummer, because it's like, I value your character, I value who you are, but you know, I'm with Dave, so
and like you said,
God ended up with my man,
and you are really attracted to him. God made us physical beings. He made us sexual beings. So there is like, we can't swing so far to one side or the other where we swing to the pendulum that says it doesn't matter at all. It's 100% about the heart. Like, then why don't we all just go blind and like marry the first person that looks good on paper? It's like, we have eyes, we can see. There is sexual attraction designed by God. But I think the problem is that in society, so much emphasis is placed on it. And I heard someone use the term a depreciating asset. So much is placed on something that is depreciating. We're all getting older. You know, one day we're all going to be grannies and grampses. And like, if it's only about the physical attraction, which is what so much of what the world says matters, like that's what true love is based on, then that's going to be pretty rough over time, because the hottest person on the planet, if they don't have a good heart, like that's going to be a rough marriage.
So I think the way to figure out, like if your, I guess priorities are not in the right place, is to really ask yourself like, okay, when I initially like see a guy, when I walk into a room, is my heart like, no, I am not even willing to get to know you because I'm not instantly attracted to you? Or are you like, you know, I'm not instantly attracted, but you know, he has a good reputation, or wow, I really like the way he leads, or I've heard a lot about him, or wow, he led that Bible study really well. I'm not attracted, but I'd be willing to get to know him, you know? Like, I think that's where your heart needs to be. Like,
it's like an open-handedness.
Totally.
Like, God, I'm willing.
Yeah, 100%.
To explore.
Yeah, and I've known, you know, so many young women who have done that, and some have ended up with them and some haven't. And I mean, I think we both want that from each other. Would you want to be with a guy where he's like, at the end of the day, like, okay, you're going to walk down the aisle to me, but it's really hard for me to even look at you. Like, no, you want someone where you have that desire, but would you also want someone to say, I'm not even willing to get to know you because initially I wasn't attracted to you? Like, maybe you had a bad hair day, like, give her another chance, you know?
Like, if you turn the tables around, like, what if you're in the other side?
So I feel like you want to, you know, like, you really want to give each other the chance. And I think that, you know, like, so many of us, our attraction is based off of wrong ideals of a relationship, like you mentioned, because we're so filling our minds with just like social media and movies and all of like that Hollywood stuff that we can't even get past that. So I think in some ways we need to take a step back and like, okay, are we just filling our minds with romance novels and, you know, like maybe even pornography? Like maybe there's a struggle there. It's like we need to find freedom from those things so that we can actually have a good perspective of men, you know?
Yeah, and when you look in the scriptures, you see the verse that says, man looks at the outward appearance, but God looks at the heart. And so really asking yourself, like, do I genuinely value what God values? Like, what does God value in a person? It's all about the heart, right? It's about the heart. It's about their love for God, their character, their kindness for others, their love for others, how they're serving, how they're building God's kingdom. Like, you see the things, humility, right? Yeah. Like, you see the character traits that God values and loves, and that's what God sees. He looks at the heart. And do we actually truly value the things that God values?
And even in Proverbs, it says, charm is deceitful and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord, she is to be praised. So ultimately, it's like, that's the type of woman a man should be looking for. But then you also see in Song of Solomon, they're just like, like obsessed with each other and love each other. So it's like, you don't want to swing from one side to the other. That's the hard part, you know?
Yeah, so I think the idea of holding it with an open hand, having a spirit of humility before the Lord to say, God, and a prayer, God, help me to value what you value. Help me to hold every opportunity with an open hand. Help me be willing to explore something that maybe initially I'm like, ooh, I'm not so sure. Like, help me be willing if that's what you would have for me. And then at the end of the day, like, God, I would also love to be attracted to my future husband, right? And so, Lord, give me that if it's your will for this. Like, if maybe there's a guy that you're not attracted to and then God brings it, it's like, wow, that could be somewhat of a green light. Like, oh, God is providing something here that wasn't there before. So it's both and we just need to be wise stewards with that.
What if he doesn't provide that attraction though? That's my thing. Like, I view that as like, okay, if I've given it the effort, I personally view that as like a closed door.
Like if you have zero and you've given it all the efforts and it's like zero attraction.
But he's just like everything that. Like, he is the most godly man. I mean, personally,
I don't know if it would be the best to just move forward, be 100% only based on the heart. And there's like zero attraction. But seek godly mentorship. Just like Bethany sought counsel. Like that was a hard decision. You were asking mentors. You were seeking counsel. You were like, guys, please, I need some input. And that helped bring clarity. So you do the same thing. You know, we always encourage you to find a godly woman to talk to about this.
Well, because God can change your heart. He's not, that's the thing. Is like, I've been there not that long ago. And so I remember it's like, God's not trying to play tricks on you. Like, I'm going to make you end up with a man that you literally can't stand to look at. You know, it's like, no, I don't think God's up there like, ha ha ha, you know, I think sometimes we feel that way, like God's playing tricks on us. Like, no, I think that a lot of times things are clear. Like, he hasn't given you attraction. You have tried, or just things. It's like, you know, the relationship shouldn't feel that way, like this, like, I'm trying so hard, you know, and you're just like, you know, it's that's literally how it would feel. And it's like, God can easily give you the attraction if you wanted to. So it's like, pursue it, pray about it, try. If it's not there though, like, maybe go from there. Okay, we got to wrap this up.
And then just look at the guy and go like this.
Okay.
No, thank you. Okay. We want to hear from you. We obviously, you know, we want to hear from you. What is your take on this? What's your opinion? What do you feel is biblically accurate? Do you agree with what we said? Do you disagree? How do you find that balance? How did you, when you were single, if you're married, are you attracted to your husband? No, don't answer that. Okay.
Well, you can cultivate it when you're married.
Leave a comment in the comment section and we will continue this conversation. We'll see you guys next time.